Hey foodies, have you ever wondered what to do with leftover pulled pork? I don't know about you, but when I make it, I always have leftovers for days and days. Well, this is one of my favorite recipes, and today on Sip Bite Go, I'm going to take you in the kitchen and show you how to make this leftover pulled pork pizza with barbecue sauce and pickles. Let's do it. If you love delicious pizza recipes and easy weeknight dinners, make sure to subscribe to the Sip Bite Go channel on YouTube and check out sipbitego.com. So the first thing you do is stretch the pizza dough. I like to do this by rolling the raw pre-made pizza dough in some flour, which is in the center of your work surface, and coat it all over in a light dusting of the flour and start with the outside. So you want to begin stretching the ready-made pizza dough by pinching the outside in a circular motion to spread out the crust. And once you have that crust formed, you can go ahead and alternate between a couple different techniques. So here's what I usually do. I usually start by pinching the center of the dough with fingers, and then I go ahead and I press the dough out on the work surface. And then I get in there with my knuckles and use the back of my knuckles to stretch the dough from underneath. And if any little holes appear, you can just patch them by folding over the dough in that spot. And as you go along, make sure to add a little bit of extra flour as you're stretching the dough, because you'll help it hold together the larger size and prevent it from shrinking back up. And once you're happy with how large you stretch the pizza dough, you can go ahead and transfer it to a parchment paper lined baking sheet. And I don't think you need to aim for perfection here. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle or rectangle. Just go with the natural shape of the dough. All right, so then it's time to get the pizza ready for baking it. So you transfer the stretched pizza dough to the baking sheet pan like you see, and brush some of the olive oil around the outside of the pizza dough, and then sprinkle the crust with a pinch of salt. Then it's time to bake the naked pizza dough in the oven for 7 minutes at 450 degrees. It doesn't have any toppings at this point. So after it's done baking, you then remove the Parbake pizza from the oven and preheat the oven to 500 degrees. This is a good time to get your other ingredients ready. And just a little tip here, I love using serrano or jalapeno peppers on pizza, but one thing I do is I take out the little seeds just with the back of the knife, so the pizza is a little bit less spicy. Alright, and as you can see, I also was using some leftover pulled pork, and so one thing to make the pulled pork easier to use is to chop it in advance. Alright, well this is a fun part where you get to feel like your own artist here with your pizza. So what you do with the naked pizza toppings, or with the naked pizza, is you add the toppings. So first, add the pizza sauce and spread it on the base of the pizza, and then add cooked pulled pork and drizzle it with barbecue sauce right on top. I know it might sound strange, red sauce and barbecue sauce, but it totally works together. And then you sprinkle on the mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese and top the whole thing with cherry tomatoes and sliced peppers. Doesn't this look so delicious? Well, then it's time to bake the pizza with the toppings. So you add the Parbake pizza with toppings to the oven and bake it at 500 degrees for 7 to 10 minutes until the cheese has completely melted. And then you finish and you plate the pizza. So I like to remove leftover pulled pork pizza from the oven and transfer it to a butcher's block to cool for a minute or two. And then sometimes I try to use a rolling pin, rolling pizza cutter, but other times I just like to get in there with a knife because it's so much easier to use a sharp chef's knife. So, well, before you do that, you add pickles and sprinkle the pizza with the fresh chopped parsley, and then it's time to slice the pizza and serve and enjoy. How fantastic does that look? It has so many different flavors in each and every slice, and look how beautiful the bottom of the crust turned out. I really love my method for making pizza dough naked the first time and then baking it with the toppings. The dough always comes out so perfectly, nice and chewy and never too crunchy or dry. So here are some beautiful close-up shots. You can see we really enjoy this pizza in my house. We do a lot of barbecue chicken pizzas and chorizo pizzas, but I love doing these for family meals, and having the leftover pulled pork added to pizza really gave it a different feel. Here's my little toddler. He got some pieces. He was trying to get the big piece, and I commend that, but it had peppers on it, so I was like, why don't you just try this pickle piece? So it makes a really delicious family meal. I can't wait for you to try it. You have to check out my delicious flank steak marinade recipe. It is so delicious, and the perfect combination of garlic, ginger, soy sauce, honey, and a little Dijon mustard, amongst other ingredients, makes this a really delicious and savory recipe for you to add to skirt steak or flank steak or any other steak that you have. Don't forget to get this recipe with printable instructions at sipbitego.com. And for more tasty recipe ideas, subscribe to the sipbitego channel on YouTube. Well, I hope this helps you with your meal prep. I love to do pulled pork one day and then make leftover pulled pork pizza another night and leftover pulled pork quesadillas the night after that. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful and delicious day. Cheers!